morning, children. I welcome you all in class 8th. I hope you all are fine and fit. And as you all know that due to COVID-19, we are unable to conduct the formal classes. So here we are with the online classes. And children, I Pallavi Joshi will be teaching you social science in this week, and we will start the first chapter of civics, the Indian Constitution, because already you have completed first chapter of geography and first chapter of history. So children, let's begin the chapter. I hope, children, you already have read the chapter through the PDF file which your class teacher has sent you in your class WhatsApp group. And children, in this chapter, we will learn about why democratic country needs a constitution, and we will learn the features of Indian constitution, and we will able to identify the minorities group, and we can give the reason why it is important to respect the views of minorities. So, you must have recognized the game. Yes, this is football. And children, you know that according to the rules of football, if the ball touches the arm of any player, then it is considered a foul. And children, if a player start holding the football in their hand and passing it around, then they are not playing football anymore. Each of these rules help us define the game and help us distinguish one game from another. And children, as each and every game has some kind of rules and regulations which are followed by the player of that game, in the same way a society also has certain type of rules and regulations which are followed by the people of that society, and which differentiate the society from other kind of societies. And children, these rules and regulations can be in written or in oral form. Now children, the question is, what is constitution? So the answer is a written document in which we find the rules by which a society would function is called constitution. It means the constitution is a set of rules that guides how a country, state works. For example, if it is written in the constitution of a country that the country will be governed by a monarch or a king or a queen, and the decision taken by that person would be final, and the next ruler will belong to the family of that monarch, king and queen. So the country will work or function accordingly. On the other hand, if it is written in a constitution of a country that the elected representative of that country will govern the country, and these elected representative will elected by the citizen of the country periodically, then the country will function according to the constitution. And children, do you know that it was written in the constitution of Saudi Arabia that till 2017 the women of Saudi Arabia did not have the right to drive the car, and in 2017 they were given the right to drive. So every country has to function according to the constitution of that country. I hope you have understood it. Then second, constitution tell us what the fundamental nature of the society is. Means it tell us how do people work, how do people think. And the third is it reflects the ideals that a society that a country upholds. For example, till 1865 slavery in the United States was legal. Slavery means to own a human being or a person as a property. And the people were kidnapped from continent of Africa and forced into the slavery, because it was the right of the American. It was described in the Constitution of America. Then they can kidnap the people from the continent of Africa and forced them into the forced into the slavery. And then there were many movements, and by the mid 19th century the slavery was abolished by the America. So everything and every rules and regulation how a country will function is written in the constitution of that country. I hope you have understood the meaning of constitution. Let's move forward now. So our next topic is, why does a country need a constitution, or why do we need a constitution? We need a constitution firstly because the constitution serves as a set of rules and principles that all persons in a country can agree upon, and the basis of which the country would be governed, and also the ideals that the country should uphold. The constitution of a country provides a set of written rules. As already we have discussed, that constitution is a written document that is authorized and approved by the people. And children, it also tells us that how would be the country governed, and the constitution also forms the basis of the kind of the country that the people of that country aspire to live. Secondly, the constitution defines the nature of political system. It means that through the constitution of a country, we can come to know whether it is who will have the power to rule the country. Like in democratic country, the power rested with the common people, and in some kind of democracy, the power rested with the king or queen. So it is also defined by the constitution that what would be the nature of the political system of that country. Second, all democratic countries are likely to have a constitution, but it is not necessary that all countries that have a constitution are democratic. The word democratic country is used here. So let me tell you first the meaning of democratic. Democratic means the form of government in which the common people hold political powers and can rule either directly or through elected representative. As children, our country is an example of democratic country. So the power to rule the country is rested with the common people, and we elect the representatives, those who work on behalf of us, or they take the decision, they make the policies on behalf of the citizen of the country. So where the power rested with the common people are the democratic country. So democratic countries have a constitution, like most of the countries have the constitution. It can be democratic or non-democratic countries. So children, though contradictory terms used here, the democratic countries are likely to have a constitution. Means all the democratic countries of the world should have a constitution which will define the nature of the political system of that country. But it is not necessary that the country which has the constitution will be a democratic country only. Like non-democratic country can also have the constitution. For example, Nepal's earlier constitution stated that the country was ruled by the king and his council of ministers, but due to the people's movement, the constitution was changed and Nepal became a democratic country in 2007. So children, until quite recently, Nepal was a monarchy, and it was written in the constitution of Nepal that the king and his council of minister would have the power to rule the country. But the people of Nepal were not satisfied with the rule of the king, so they led movement, protest, and finally in 2006 Nepal declared a democratic country, and people finally succeeded in putting an end to the power of the king. And now, as the rule of the king ends in Nepal, now the people of Nepal writing a new constitution because they do not want to continue their previous constitution, which was written by the king and his council of ministers, as it does not reflect their ideas. So I hope you have understood the term that all the democratic countries are likely to have a constitution, but it is not necessary that if a country have a constitution it would be a democratic country only. So children, like Nepal, India too is a democratic country, and now we'll see what is the link between democracy and constitution. In a democracy, we choose our leaders so that they can rule responsibly on our behalf. However, the leaders might misuse their authority, so the constitution safeguards us against this by giving fundamental rights to the citizens. So children, in a democratic country, the citizen of the country elect their representatives, those who make the policies, those who take the decision on behalf of the citizen of the country. And children, if we will give somebody the power that he can decision on our behalf, so there is a possibility that that person can misuse his powers. In the same way, leaders, those who are elected by the citizen of the country, they might misuse their authority. So the constitution safeguards us against this by giving fundamental rights to the citizen. So fundamental rights are the basic rights of the citizens, like right to equality, through which no person can be discriminated on the basis of gender, race, caste, and religion. Second, in a democracy, the majority can continuously enforce decisions that exclude minorities and go against their interest. The Constitution safeguards the minorities or weaker section in inter-community domination or intra-community domination. So children, for example, suppose there are 30 students in a class, and among 30, 20 are boys and 10 are girls. And in their games period, the teacher asks them that which game they would like to play. So the boys want to play cricket and the girls want to play badminton. But the teacher, as only one game can be played in that games period, so the teacher asks them to raise their hand that which game they would like to prefer to play in that games period. So obviously boys raise their hand for cricket and girls raise their hand for badminton. As the boys were in majority, so the teacher take the decision that the game which will be played in that games period will be cricket. Children, so in that way, in a democracy also, the majority can continuously enforce their decision that exclude minority and go against their interest. Like in a democratic country, the decision mostly taken by the majority of the country or for the majority people of the country, and in that way the minority groups sometimes excluded from the decision, and sometimes the decision which is taken for the majority group, it go against the interest of the minority groups. So for this, the Constitution safeguards the minorities or the weaker section of the society. There are some terms also in Constitution through which the minority group of a country also protected. And second, and sometime the two condition arises, that inter-community domination or intra-community domination. Community domination means कि there are two groups, like in that example we have seen of that class, कि the girls, those who want to play the basketball, and there were the group of the boys, those who want to play the cricket. So the decision was in the favor of boys, so there will be a domination. It would be called inter-community domination, where one community will dominate the other community. And second condition arises, that is intra-community domination. Suppose in intra-community domination, suppose in that example only with that class, suppose the 5 boys or 10 boys from the group, those who want to play the cricket, will raise their voice against their group, that the girls also get some opportunity to play the to play the basketball. So this is the group which will go against their own community. That type of condition known as intra-community domination. And thirdly, the constitution saves us from ourselves. It is possible that the people might come to strongly believe that the party politics is so much rubbish that we need a strong dictator to set this right. Swept by emotions, we may not realize that this goes against our own interest in a long run, so the constitution does not allow for the easy overthrown provisions that guarantee right and freedom of the citizen. Third, the constitution saves us from ourselves. It means कि sometime, if, like we have seen in the democratic country, if one party do not get the vote in majority, so they form the coalition government, where two parties come together and form the government. And suppose the ideals of both the parties are same, and people are not satisfied with the working of these two parties, and rest of the parties, the ideals of or the working of the rest of the parties would be somewhere same. So the citizen sometimes need a person or a dictator, that person who will govern them or who will rule the country. So there is a provision in the constitution that the citizens will not have the easy provisions, that they can amend the constitution. Amend means they can correct the they can correct the constitution, or they can correct some of the law, because in the long run, when they take any decision when they take some decision emotionally, it will go against them in a long run. And suppose in that situation, if the citizens will make a person like a king, and it will not easy in the long run to dethrone that person. So in that way, constitution has the provision where it save us from ourselves, means we are not easily amend the provisions, we cannot easily amend the law, rules and regulation of the constitution. And in that way, it guarantees right and freedom of the citizens. So the constitution in a democracy does not allow us to change the basic structure of the constitution. With this, the first two topics are completed, and this is the part 1 video of this chapter, and in next class I will upload the part 2 video of this chapter, where I will explain rest of the chapter. And with this, children, with this video you will get the assignment, and that assignment you have to do in that copy in which you have done the previous assignment given by Pooja ma'am and Roli ma'am. So I hope you have understood the chapter. If not, if any topic is unclear to you, you can write in the class comment, so that in next class I will re-explain that topic. So till the next class, Take care of yourself. Stay home. Stay safe. Thank you, class.